We're coming back to our roundtable. We want to stay on the issue of funding early childhood development. Sarah, this is something that you recently did at the Arizona Daily Star. You traveled to many states outside of Arizona.
Yes.
So where does Arizona fit when it comes to funding early education?
So what we've done at the Arizona Daily Star's opinion section is we decided what is one thing that could make a real difference over the course of many years for Pima County. And it comes down to early childhood education is one of the best investments a community can make. And we went to 5 different places across the country. These are places that had local early childhood education programs that were successful. And because we realized in Arizona, you can't wait for the state to do anything, pretty much. We need to do it ourselves. There's been a working group of people from SALC, the Southern Arizona Leadership Council, advocates who were with Strong Start, other people in the area of early childhood education, and they've really been working behind the scenes to come up with what they call the PCPIP, which is Pima County Preschool Investment Program. We might need a new name. Unfortunately, only Richard Elias has been very public in his support. The thought is, and this is what Chuck Huckleberry has said, that he views it as a program that should be more than just paid for by the county. Totally makes sense. What I think he doesn't understand about it is he's referring to it as a program that would benefit Pima County kids. It really will benefit everyone in Pima County.
Dan, why is this such a hard sell? Is it purely the money?
I think because a lot of people don't see that there is much of a difference between daycare and preschool. I don't. I think that preschool is valuable, but we're in a state that can't even get K-12 right. And also, where a lot of these programs are funded, the county generally isn't doing it. It's often the state generally using federal grants. So to ask a county to do it is a big ask, particularly a county that has so many other problems, has very high tax rate, and has a lot of people living in poverty. I agree that there's a long-term benefit, but I don't know that this is necessarily going to be a priority with a lot of people.
I like the idea of providing more preschool opportunities for kids. I think it is an economic development issue for sure. I think asking the county to shoulder all the burden is not thing we can afford at this point. I think if your county officials went ahead with that, they'd probably lose the next election, and then whoever came in would get rid of the program. So I think that's, I do think you can move forward with exploring it. I would love to see more partnerships. There's no doubt the state has been a deadbeat dad in this situation. They've cut back, and it is worth it to make sure that kids have a safe place to be. They're not neglected, and they're learning something during the day and being well taken care of. However, I don't think the county can afford to go it alone.
This was one small part of a bigger plan. More people are coming into the table. Schools were represented in the working group. It's something that, yes, this was a seed to get started, but no one is saying the county should just pony up for everything.
Dan, how's this likely to play out?
I think it's a question of responsibility, and it's a question of priorities, and I aim those 2 words at parents who should be doing the preschool work, who should be at home with their kids if possible. I understand that it can't be that case for a lot of people, but we are giving our kids over to the system, and now we're telling the system that you're responsible for daycare for my child, and you're responsible for getting them to kindergarten or 1st grade where they can go to school all day and I can go to work and I don't have to worry about it. I really think it's going to come back to people feeling that they're paying for daycare for other people and it's not their responsibility.
Then they don't understand what the high quality education is. It would be great if every family who wanted to could have a parent stay home, raise the child full time. That is not reality.
We have a lot of single moms living in poverty in this community who need this kind of help.
But what
There's
is
no
also-
doubt about that,
but-
and if giving your kids over to loving teachers who spend the day with them in a community of other like-minded kids is handing them over to the system, then I'm guilty of handing my kids over to the system. But I just find that characterization to be an inaccurate look at what's actually going on.
We were blessed to be able to have my wife at home with our kids. It was absolutely the best situation. I
And
understand
that's a
some-
great thing.
Exactly, and some people I understand can't have that, but now let's go back
No,
to
it's not
daycare
some.
versus pre.
It's not some. It's
majority.
many.
Okay,
And
so now
we
you're
shouldn't
saying
have to decide
you're saying we
because-
should pay for daycare.
No,
Just say it.
no, I'm
Just say it.
not.
What's the
I'm
difference between daycare
absolutely
and
not
You're saying there
preschool?
should
We
be a
should
funding
pay for
mechanism.
daycare.
There should
We
be a
should.
funding mechanism
We
for
absolutely
early
should.
education.
We absolutely should pay for daycare. That was a
Okay.
decision made by the Republicans and Democrats in the 1990s when we did welfare reform, because we said we wanted to get people back into the workforce. A person can't get back into the workforce if they can't have safe, reliable childcare. It just doesn't work because you're counting on your sister or your mom or somebody
Or
else
your
to
neighbor.
take, or your neighbor to
Does
take
this
care of
come
these
down
kids.
to, there are many arguments to this, but is it partly political, where you're going to see Democrats versus Republicans on this with
Oh,
fiscal
yeah.
responsibility?
Well,
I hope not.
I really need to make the point that there is a vast difference between daycare and childcare and a high quality early childhood education facility. Whether that could be a provider in someone's home, that could be a center, that could be classrooms in an elementary school. You have certified, you have credentialed teachers, you have people who have child development expertise and understanding, and perhaps since you don't have expertise or experience with daycare versus preschool because your family was able to keep a parent home, I think learning about what the reality is, learning about the facts between the two different programs, and not trying to graft your own personal family experience onto something that is very, it's daycare and a high quality preschool.
But you're
are
painting a
not the
picture.
same.
You're painting a picture of preschools with people with doctorates. It's simply
So?
not the case. It's not the case, though, and you can't afford that,
How do you know?
and we can't
How do you
afford
know?
it. And then
How
let's
do you
go-
know?
and
When
let's
were you in a
go-
preschool program?
How many of them have doctorates, Sarah?
I
How many of
can
them
tell you
have
that
anything more than a high school education?
No, that is not true.
Well,
I can tell
let's
you that-
watch Arizona 360 because we went into a preschool and we have the kiddos, so we can agree to disagree on this one. I am curious though, how many of you guys went to preschool? Preschool? No. Okay, Nana, that's me. All right, let's stop there. Well, three of us will go take a nap and have some snacks and then play nicely together. My thanks to all three of you.